A lack of efficient emergency medical services in North Raleigh County has led to backlash from residents. A recent Facebook page is raising awareness of this issue.
And new rules involving political signs are affecting local politicians in the upcoming midterm elections.
As well as a look at one local coach who is battling for more than just a win on the field. All that and more coming up in Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Mason Voth.
And I'm Rachel Hogan.
This morning we will first take a look at a lack of proper medical services for women in the Manhattan area. A local hospital in Manhattan went over a year without certified nurses being able to conduct rape kits. Channel 8 News reporter Amelia Andrews has the story.
For sexual assault through force, violence, or incapacitation on campus. With sexual violence being a talked about subject in the media, it's important for college towns to be supplied with resources to help if one ever experiences these heinous acts.
Manhattan's local hospital, Via Christi, has nurses certified to examine victims of sexual assault and rape. Unfortunately, there's a shortage of them, leaving just 3 nurses certified to do the job.
We're actually looking for more nurses who want. Now, the thing of it is usually these nurses work another position, and this is what they pick up on the side just because it's an area of passion that they have to help work in this field and to help these victims. It is a lot of call involved because there's such a few number of nurses who are trained, so it just can be very wearing at times, and so we just, the more nurses we have, the more we can put in that rotation.
We always hope to recruit new individuals to assist with this program, so yes, any more numbers would be helpful, but it is truly a position where you have to have a passion to want to be able to complete this, and so we want somebody that's fully supportive and wants to be a part of this program to be a part.
With K-State having almost 25,000 students enrolled, there may not be enough SANE nurses available. Victims will have to commute to Topeka or Junction City to get the aid they need.
In Manhattan, I'm Amelia Andrews, Channel 8 News.
There's currently a 4th nurse in training to be certified in sexual assault examinations. Sexual assault or rape victims are encouraged to get checked out at local clinics, hospitals, and to reach out to counseling services if help is needed.
Speaking of lack of services, the residents of North Riley County say they have inadequate EMS services. I took the time to speak to some folks from up north on the issue.
According to researchers affiliated with the Department of Emergency Medicine and other similar associations, the average wait time for an ambulance in the United States is 8 minutes. For people in rural areas, that increases to 14 minutes. Residents in North Riley County say they have to wait 40 to 45 minutes for EMS services, something they say just isn't good enough. Those concerned with the situation created a Facebook page called #North County Lives Matter. On the page, members share the stories of their neighbors who must endure long wait times for ambulances. Karen Sundgren wrote, "When we are in need, time seems to be forever. As I stated earlier, I did not have all the details, just there is a need for help at this end of the county, as well as anywhere people live." One of the page members is City Commissioner in Riley, Kansas, Greg McKinley, who has spoken to the County Commission twice on the subject. McKinley says some people feel as though they are not considered part of the county due to long wait times.
We pay the taxes, same as everybody else, but we're not getting the services.
Members of the Facebook page brought a low-cost interim solution to the county commission. They said it could be feasible to keep a 12-hour crew in Riley, preventing the need for sleep stations, and house the ambulance in the bay here at Riley County Fire Station number 5, where an ambulance used to be.
During their downtime, the crew could relax here at the city station next door.
However, the county commission denied the solution. Chairman of the Riley County Board of Commissioners, Marvin Rodriguez, said the commission feels services can be maintained better within Manhattan city limits, where all of the county's ambulances are housed. However, a new station may be coming out north in a few years.
Eventually, I don't know when, we are planning to do something up north, but it may take a few years to get that done because of the monetary expense.
In the meantime, the commission approved a $16,000 renovation at the county public workshop to create a new station about 10 minutes outside of Manhattan. In Riley County, Rachel Hogan, Channel 8 News.
Currently, Riley County has 4 EMS stations serving 67,000 people. All of them are within Manhattan city limits. Chairman Rodriguez said a station may come to North Riley County in about 4 years.
With November being the most politically based month of the year, the city of Manhattan has recently enforced signage restrictions. Channel 8 News reporter Logan Wassel is live to tell you more. Logan?
With Election Day rolling just around the corner, there are many of these political signs like the ones you see behind me. But many Manhattan residents aren't quite sure exactly where those signs are allowed to be placed. In 2015, the state of Kansas put a law in place specifically for political signs saying that 45 days before an election and 2 days after, you have to allow signs in the right-of-way. But later on in 2015, the Supreme Court said you cannot regulate content-based signs. The city of Manhattan recently decided to enforce this rule to all local residents. Assistant City Manager Keel Mangus speaks on 2015's policy.
Signs in the right of way, continue to enforce our current ordinance. So, we send notices out from the city to candidates saying here's where you can or cannot put your sign.
For instance, this sign right here to my right is legally placed on the side of the sidewalk away from the street. However, if it was originally placed on the other side of the sidewalk like this, it would be illegally placed in technically public property, not adhering to the policy. For more information on signage restriction laws, you guys can check out the City of Manhattan's website. Back to you guys at the desk.
With midterm elections coming up, K-State students are finding a voice in the upcoming vote. The Kansas governor race is at the forefront of the national midterm elections. Kansans have been seeing a lot about politics this month. The governor race between Republican candidate Chris Kobach and Democratic candidate Laura Kelly has been heating up, and a great deal of emphasis has been placed on the young voter this year. Young voters across campus are expected to have a big turnout, and Democratic candidate Laura Kelly states how important the young vote is to this election.
But it's also an incredibly critical election because the contrast is so clear between the candidates. I will keep us on the road to recovery, and fix our schools, fix our roads, expand Medicaid. The young people particularly need to be engaged in this because what happens in Kansas in the future is going to impact them the most of any age group.
Look at the chemical spill that led to Burt Hall being evacuated yesterday afternoon. That and more after the break.
University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community, progress, you. Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning, conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again, crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you. What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
Welcome back. Yesterday afternoon, the Manhattan Fire Department was called for a reported chemical spill on the second floor at Burt Hall on K-State's campus. When the MFD hazardous materials team arrived on the scene, they found a small overpressurized chemical container. 2 people were evaluated for chemical exposure by Riley County EMS and were released shortly afterwards. After a brief investigation, MFD crews determined the building was safe once again.
Following the May 29th fire at K-State's Hale Library, staff in the library are now working on a plan for renovations and want students to give their opinions. Reporter Monica Diaz has more.
Hale Library had an accidental fire that led to the temporary closure for the 2018 to 2019 school year. While students, faculty, and staff are waiting for the reopening of the library staff is asking students what they want to see with the new renovations. Tara Coleman, Web Services librarian for K-State, says she has been working with the user needs assessment to see what students want.
As we do things, they can help us. So if we want to know when you're in the building, what do you do? Like, people were great at sharing that in the survey, and it's really helpful for us as we make decisions about what we have to purchase, where things go, and then how we interact with people.
With this user needs assessment being sent out to students, Hale Library staff can better prepare for students' needs. With the destruction of Hale Library in the summer of 2018, students are now wondering, where do they go to study? Although they found spots throughout campus, students are very eager to see the new Hale renovations. K-State student Emily Olchin says she is looking forward to a more study-friendly environment.
Something that I want to see at the new Hale, maybe more computer access and on different floors as well. In the old Hale, there was computers on the first floor, but not really in any of the other floors, and so that'd be really cool for me.
Trey Coleman, student, has one special request for the new Hale.
When it's opened up, I'd like to see like a coffee shop and places to like study, like lots of places where I can just use for getting my studying done.
Krista Everhart, library worker, says while students wait for the reopening of Hale Library, students should visit the library help desk at the Union and utilize the new study spaces.
At the front desk, I'm able to provide resources for students. So like if you come up asking for a certain book, we might have it on reserves, or if we don't have it, like as a textbook 2-hour checkout, we can order it for you.
With renovations being discussed, students, staff, and faculty are eagerly awaiting the return of Hale Library. In Manhattan, Monica Diaz, Channel 8 News.
As Hale Library staff continues to make progress towards renovations, the date has not yet been released when it will be opened.
MHS Soccer has found themselves battling for another state title, but their coach is in a much bigger battle. And next, a full look at the upcoming weather in the Flint Hills.
Roar, a sea of purple, wielding twists and turns, a sincere smile, and simple phrase. Legacies that span generations, blurring the line between fans and family. Believing we bleed a different color. Foundations defined by a single stone. That special place you love full well. What makes traditions unforgettable? Loyalty. Purple. You.
A spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
Carry thy banner high, long, long. May thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
Halloween celebrations might look a little different in the future. Channel 8's Kylie White explored different trick-or-treating options.
Normally on the evening of October 31st, you tend to see families and kids of all ages gathered in various neighborhoods to trick-or-treat. However, this year Manhattan was filled with a variety of trick-or-treating options that made it more convenient and safer for families. Many families and kids are staying away from trick-or-treating in neighborhoods like these and are taking advantage of other opportunities like trunk-or-treating here at Westview Church or in Manhattan's West Loop Shopping Center.
I mean, you never know what you're going to get when you go to somebody's house, so we definitely feel safer coming here to businesses.
Westview Church hosted their annual Trunk or Treat, where many families gathered for trick-or-treating, food, games, music, and more. Along with this, Village Plaza hosted a trick-or-treating event that had a variety of stores host trick-or-treating stations right next to each other.
About trick-or-treating is
is that you get candy.
These events were a big turnout with hundreds of kids showing up. This is a good, safe alternative for many people as it is a publicly hosted event with law enforcement in attendance. In Manhattan, I'm Kylie White, Channel 8 News.
Weather has been sunny as of late since we've seen that rain finally go away.
That is true, but I've heard that there is a chance of rain this weekend. Let's spring over to Channel 8 weatherman Austin Springer. Austin?
Thanks, guys. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday morning so far. Happy into spooky season and excited for gobble season coming up. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our national weather. So if we're going to go ahead and take a look here in Northern California, it's going to be about high 60s. We'll take a look over here at the Pacific Northwest. It is going to be about mid 60s as well. Move it down over here to the great state of Arizona. It's going to be mid 60s as well. Take a look down south here in Houston, Texas. It's going to be high 60s as well. Here in our area, it is going to be, about 60 degrees here. We'll go ahead and take a look over here down in the East Coast, Southeast Coast over here. It's going to be about mid 80s. Pretty nice weather for this time of year especially. Up over here in the Northeast Coast, it's going to be about high 60s as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look here at Doppler radar that we have. So it looks like we've got a cold front coming through here, going down towards these southeast states over here. So expect some colder weather coming that way as well. So go ahead and take a look here at our state map. We're going to go ahead and look here at the northwestern part of the state. It's going to be about mid-high 50s over here. Going to take a look down here at southwest Kansas. It's going to be about 60 degrees as well. Take a look over here at our general area. It is going to be about 60 degrees as well. Go ahead and move it over to our 24-hour agenda as well. It is going to be about 60 at today's high. Sunset's going to be about low 40s, and sunrise tomorrow, it's partly cloudy with a 41 degrees chance. So go ahead and take a look here at our 5-day forecast. It's going to be about 60 degrees, high 30s as our low tonight. Tomorrow it's going to be about mid 50s with a low of high 30s. Saturday it is going to be about mid 50s and high 30s. So go ahead and shoot it back over to you guys. Hopefully we'll have more.
The K-State athletic community suffered another loss this past week. We'll have more in sports next on Channel 8 News.
We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you.
The best kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP's Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
I was so pleased with what I saw on the discussion boards last night. Who started the module?
K-State Global Campus offers flexible online learning, the same name brand education, quality programs, and recognized award-winning professors with the flexibility to fit your life.
Here you are, sir. Can I get you anything else?
For your comfort and safety, light baggage must be stored in the overhead.
K-State Global Campus, always on, always there.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Let's send it over to Julia, who has a sports update.
Thanks, Mason. K-State lost a member of their family earlier this week as Wildcat rower Samantha Scott passed away due to a rare illness called Lemire syndrome. According to the National Center for Advancing Translational Sciences, Lemire syndrome is a bacterial infection that begins in the throat that can spread through the veins where it can potentially become deadly. Scott, a 23-year-old architectural engineering student from Fort Morgan, Colorado, was the squad's top coxswain this season. Scott was an academic All-Big 12 selection last season, along with leading the team's 1v4 and 1v8 boats. This past weekend, Manhattan community came together to raise funds for Manhattan High's head soccer coach Frank Alonso's health battle. Channel 8 reporter Michaela Kitchen has the story.
After learning that head soccer coach Frank Alonso had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, the Manhattan High community put together a fundraiser for the coach and his family this past weekend at the Blue Hills Room. At the fundraiser, donations were raised by selling food plates, buying raffle tickets, or giving monetary donations.
He also coaches club teams, so a lot of those families came together and came out, ate food, and are donating to the raffle. So it's a 7-day vacation certificate that's given.
After years of playing with Coach Alonso, Manhattan High soccer team captain Max Lansdowne and fellow player Trace Dillon says it's been his support on and off the field that's made them want to now support their coach during this time.
Frank's had a huge impact on all of us, not just like as players, even though he's really built us all as players, but I think he's impacted us as people like a ton, and he's really like helped not just like give us the values we need to like play the game, but he's helped us with like values that'll just help us later in life, and competition and perseverance.
He's been really supportive of all of us. He's wanted to make us better players for the soccer team. That's been his ultimate goal, is just to make us go to the higher level of soccer. So I appreciate that a lot.
After coaching for nearly 20 years, Coach Alonso's support team is large and ready to support the coach in any way they can. Family friend Armando Pereira says 5 families came together to make sure the event had everything it needed to raise funds for Coach Alonso and his family. As a community, they want to repay them for all the years of support and mentorship given.
Definitely he has provided a lot of support to the kids and the team, coaching-wise, mentoring-wise, and so that means a lot to us as family, as a community, and this is why we come together to support him.
In addition to the fundraiser, those that want to contribute can also donate to Coach Alonso's GoFundMe page started by family friend Mitzi Freeling, who says the response they've gotten online is overwhelmingly successful.
It's raising a significant amount of money, so I mean nobody had any idea it could be as big as it is so far.
In Manhattan, Kansas, I'm Michaela Kitchen for Channel 8 News.
Today is the last day to enter the raffle. You can call 785-539-3737 to purchase tickets. The draw for the winner will be on Monday, November 5th. The Manhattan High Indians play Friday at 7 against Wichita West in Manhattan at Bishop Stadium. The Indians advanced in the playoffs by beating Wichita Southeast by a score of 73-20. The Wildcats unveiled their 2019 football schedule, kicking the season off at home against Nicholls State, along with a Week 2 matchup against Bowling Green. The Wildcats then traveled to Starkville, Mississippi to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs for a second straight year before moving on to Big 12 play. The Wildcats schedule is unique with 3 bye weeks along with a Thursday night matchup against the TCU Horned Frogs. The season begins on August 31st. Back to you, Mason and Rachel.
One local retirement home used hogs to raise funds last week.
Also, Austin will return to give us another look at your Channel 8 weather forecast.
The limestone embedded in our history is the foundation of who we have become and what we can become tomorrow. We find inspiration in the past, new possibilities in our present, and anticipation for tomorrow's journey. Yesterday's triumphs are today's proud traditions, a transformation where a hall becomes a home, students become family, and research becomes reality. How do we build upon K-State's strong foundation? Innovation, collaboration, you. We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
The Meadowlark Hills Retirement Community's Good Samaritan Foundation hosted its annual Hogtoberfest last Thursday and raised a record amount of money. Channel 8's Brianne Smith has the story.
Sandra and Dawn Emily live at the Meadowlark Hills Retirement Community in Manhattan.
where they dedicate their time to serving those less financially fortunate than them. Sandra Emily is a board member for the Meadowlark's Good Samaritan Foundation, and her husband helps out as well.
The Good Samaritan is a person who is compassionate and helpful to one in distress.
The Emilys are grateful to be able to help those who are living so close to them.
But it also, gives you a great sense of gratitude to be able to have what you have and to be able to share a little bit by helping take care of others.
The foundation hosted the Hogtoberfest fundraising event at Cox Brothers Barbecue in Manhattan on Thursday. The proceeds benefit about 50 residents who need health care services at Meadowlark Hills and no longer have the money to live there. Meadowlark's Good Samaritan Fund hosts events like this one at Cox Brothers Barbecue year-round. 10% of today's purchases will go to residents with depleted financial resources. Becky Fitzgerald, the development director, says the foundation hits close to her heart.
So we have a lot of people like my grandmother at Meadowlark, and I know that if she had lived and could have benefited from something like this, it would have been very meaningful.
Raffle tickets were sold during the event on Thursday, along with an option to openly donate to the foundation. A hog kissing contest was also held at the fundraiser, where the winner kissed a baby pig after raising the most money over the last several weeks. The Good Samaritan Fund will continue to host events like Hogtoberfest year-round to serve those who need a helping hand. In Manhattan, Breanne Smith, Channel 8 News.
The Meadowlark Hills Good Samaritan Foundation hosts several fundraisers year-round and hopes to continue to serve residents in need of health care services. Rachel, Manhattan High football back at home for another state playoff game tomorrow night. Do you have any idea what our weather will be like?
No clue. Hopefully, Austin, can you fill us in?
I sure can, guys. So, it is, like I said, it's going to start off here, nice around this week, but unfortunately, Friday is going to be nice as well. It's going to be about the same temperatures that we've had this today and yesterday as well. Saturday, though, however, it is going to start to get a little bit wet, a little bit more rainy. Go ahead and take a look at this 5-day forecast, though, for you. Like I said, today's high is going to be in low 60s. Today's low also is going to be high 30s as well. Tomorrow for that Manhattan High football game, it is going to be about mid 50s with a low of high 30s. So make sure that you're bringing a jacket with you, especially when that game comes up. Also Saturday, it is going to be rainy, like I said, about a 70% chance of rain. And it's going to be about mid 50s as well with a low of high 30s. Also, make sure Saturday night to change your clocks back an hour because we've got that nice little time change coming up. So make sure you sleep in that extra hour. Sunday, make sure that you also, prepare for what's ahead. Weather's also going to be about the same as what we've dealt with so far. So, going to be about the same, guys.
I'm thankful you alerted me about daylight savings time because I'm dreading that now.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I think, it's nice though, because, clock falls back an hour. That's the one thing I remember from elementary school is spring forward, fall backwards. So
I did not know that. You just helped me out a ton.
There you go, guys. There you go.
All right, well, that wraps up today's show. Thanks for joining us this morning.
This is Channel 8 News.